It is late afternoon, just about the time your father is due home from work. You're sitting in the living room reading a book when the pages begin to blur. Your head begins to buzz. Strange images swirl before your eyes. Two large forms appear to collide. You can't make out exactly what they are, but they could be cars. And then the images fade and the page is clear again. Suddenly there's a screech of brakes in front of your house and then a loud bang. You run to the window. A car has smashed into the front fender of your father's car just as he was turning into the driveway. Your father isn't hurt, but somehow you already knew that he wouldn't be. This incident, along with a few more, have you sent off for study as a weirdo kid with ESP. After some tests, you are later confronted by the FBI. They have a quaint little stop by your house to let you know that you just might be the right person to help them with a special assignment. Yes, the FBI is in some deep business, and only a little girl can save the world. That's you. They'd like you to take some more tests to see if you're right for the job, but if you refuse, one of the G-men grabs you and threatens you. Good God, look at this man, roughing up a kid. Go choose your own adventure. It's not a choking, but I'll take it. So yeah, you pretty much have to help them unless you like getting roughed up by a guy that resembles a giant thumb. After doing some tests, you're informed that your scores are really just a tad higher than the margin of error, so guess what? You don't have ESP. You're just crazy or something apparently. But then you have another vision and you save the life of the researcher. Oh, they're sold on you now. You want to work on this top secret research submarine? Well, guess what? It's an issue of national security, my friend. Ships have been disappearing all over the world. The book makes a point of alerting you that the Russians are also having the same problem, so don't go blaming the damn Russians for this one, you American Yankee jackass. They also point out that they wouldn't normally tell someone about this being national security, but hey, they're making an exception in your case. Who wouldn't do that? Pick up a little kid to go save the world. But hey, what the hell? Let's get down to business. So you meet three people you'll be working with. Captain Hornbolt, the man in charge of the submarine. Dr. Thurston, the woman whose life you saved when she was doing the ESP test on you. And Mr. Higbee, the navigator and one suave son of a bitch with a mustache like a dead caterpillar. The sub itself is named the Manta for obvious reasons related to its appearance. The ship has the most advanced electronic gear ever developed, but that won't be enough. Other ships were advanced as well, and they just vanished. So this ship will need something more. A kid with ESP. And they inform you that you will be making decisions based on your ability and even controlling the ship. You balk a little at this, obviously, pointing out that that happens to be quite a lot of responsibility, but they shrug and just say you can learn on the job. That's government for you, I guess. Cutting corners, saving money, doing ESP. They put you in a small room filled with dials, switches, and screens. This ship has been crafted so that all these instruments can be controlled by psychic ability. Good thing the operating system the ship runs on is compatible with little kid brains. At this point, you have to make a choice. Go south towards the South Pacific Ocean or go north towards the North Pole. I won't give anything away in this decision since this book only has one correct way to go from this choice. One direction leads you to the cause of the disappearances as long as you continue to make the right choices, and the other direction will lead you on random wild stuff that does not solve the mystery. One thing you do know, however, something is out there. Something in the sea, dark and evil. You meet all kinds of weird creatures and beings throughout this journey, depending on which paths you take, but it's the race of frog people who live in secret underwater cities that are stealing the boats and enslaving humans. And the reason? Well, they're tired of humans polluting the ocean and destroying everything. The boats keep spewing garbage and people keep dumping toxic waste and radioactive crap into the water, and they've had enough of it. So in order to save the planet and the ocean that they live in, they're stealing boats away from people. And after listening to the reasoning, you are given a choice about helping them. Here's where the book gets hilarious. I heard what they had to say, and let's face it, they're right. Humans are a problem. Why wouldn't you want to join up with them and help save the oceans? So I said, let's do it. It's the right thing to do. And the dirty bastards enslave me. What message does this send to the kids reading this? This book has an environmental storyline throughout, and then when the option to do the right thing is presented, the book basically wants you to say, to hell with those frog bastards. I'm on team people. This was hilarious. Teach kids about environmentalism and then punish them for trying to save the planet. Basically a big sucker punch from out of nowhere. To be fair, your other option at this junction is to tell them that you'll think about their offer and get back to them, but who would choose that? But if you do choose that, it actually works out good for all involved. Well, okay. What a weird-ass book. Other than thieving asshole frog people who happen to care about the planet, you can also run into a ghost who would kindly like it if he could hitch a ride to Alaska with you. Another weird ghost, a lady in a shiny city under the Aurora Borealis who just tells you to go back to your boat and everything is okay. Well, if you say so. Time to go home and forget this nonsense. Hope the big FBI thumb guy doesn't find out or he might give me a beatdown. You can also meet weird lobster people or even aliens that look like something out of Doctor Who. Some of the endings you might get. Trapped below the surface of the earth, mining until you're 70 years old, at which point you're rescued. Being flash frozen and the entire sub is left until found 500 years later, you're thawed out and become a citizen of the future, never knowing who was stealing the damn boats. Crushed to death under the ice, there is no escape. Crushed to death in an old boat while scuba diving. Shipwrecking on a Polynesian island with Captain Hornbolt deciding to just live there and not go home. Seems like a weird decision for a submarine captain to make, but okay. Getting into an alien spaceship and accidentally hitting the button that sends it home to Alpha Centauri. Finding the elusive Phantom submarine and being attacked by its laser cannons. You die. You caused a bit of damage to the Phantom sub though, so good news, bad news I guess. Funny though that the book is called Phantom Submarine, but there's really only a small part of the story where you ever actually find this thing. Trying to escape from the underwater city you are now imprisoned in, but never actually doing so. But talking about escaping helps to pass the time. The artwork by Ron Jones is certainly decent, and the story itself is okay, I suppose. That might be a little generous. Several weaker endings could have used more description instead of just dead ending with no real conclusion. Some of the writing is also a tad hokey, but unintentionally funny. The idea that you can control a submarine with your mind and they just want you to learn this on the job was funny. And that gut punch ending in regards to trying to save the environment and do the right thing was just a shot out of left field for sure. It's always great when the authors of the Choose Your Own Adventure series decide to try and teach a wonderful moral lesson to children and then punch them in the face for it. Ultimately though, this is maybe a middle of the road Choose Your Own Adventure book. It's not horrible, but I mean it's not exciting or wildly funny or even over the edge weird enough to be a saving grace. I think Brightfield probably did better books than this one, but if he did, I doubt it's any of his martial arts books he did later in the series. I've never read those and I don't want to. Until next time, screw those frog bastards.